I'm entirely wanting to play this right now because I want to test how Party Thrasher plays with Cori-Steel Cutter. That's my entire reason for wanting to play this right now. So I agree the mana curve is a bit awkward, although like Thrasher is kind of good with all the twos, where you go Thrasher, then you trigger it, and then you can go like you get to convoke out multiple spells the following turn. And one Amber. Well, I cut the Ragavans, but if I had Ragavan and one Amber is probably still in there. So like if you end up cutting the Party Thrashers, it probably makes sense, Gab. Which I think is a fine way to build it, but like this is very much for me an exploration league where to me Steel or Party Thrasher seems really interesting with Steel Cutter. This could end up being Boros, Mono Red, Jeskai, or Izzet. I think Izzet is a good way to start because that's the only show we've ever had success with Party Thrasher before. But it just gives you a steady stream of 2 spells, and then the tokens let you convoke out for like powerful double spell turns too. Is Mox Amber active more often than Opal? No, not. We only have 4 legends right now. What would the white splash be for Jeskai, Flage, Narset, Guide Pride maybe. All right, party time. Watch Guard with the 11 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Yeah, like back towards the beginning of MH3, like Party Thrasher like performed really well for us really quickly. I think I'm just gonna main phase. It was like immediately this card was like overperforming, and like just I think there was a weird brief window though where the like Wizard Flame of Anor shell was really strong. Like right before like the Nadu builds kind of got solved. And it doesn't feel like the Flame of Anor package has been as good since then, especially because like you're pretty weak to Flage, and this build is pretty weak to Flage. But I'm pretty interested to see how this goes. Opponent is reading. Party time. They dismember. Dismember is unlucky to run into here. Well, let's guard the 11 months. Thank you. Welcome back. And they play a Flage. I'm not going to have a target for my discharge for the Steel Cutter. So I guess I might as well Iteration instead. So I don't have Delirium or enough energy to kill an Escape Flage here. So I think I'm just going to conserve my life total a little bit. We are just a fetch land away, although we're not playing that many fetch lands, I guess. Okay, punish for my line here. Verge is probably better than Canal. Well, we sure do have 8 blue 1-drops and 10 red 1-drops. I certainly feel like I just want to be able to cast either one, right? All right, so let's Iteration first. We may be going like Party Thrasher into convoke out whatever we Iteration into. That's not what ended up happening. So and it's Ragavan. They have a Flage in the yard. Our top card is an Unstable Amulet. Definitely want to draw that. So this sticks down to 1. They're also at 9 life. Titan of Fire's Fury. Doesn't really roll off the tongue, huh? Guess he was kind of redundant. Alright, enough partying. Just need 1 Thrasher. Your turn. I think it's annoying enough to counter. Although kind of maybe saving the counterspell for the turn when we get the Steel Cutter back could have been better. Probably not a huge deal either way. So discard the Tamiyo, pick Channeler, cast Channeler, deal 1 damage to our opponent, kill the Ocelot Pride, netting 2 energy. Keep that on top, and we get to cast it, deal 2 more damage. You know, game's pretty over. So up a game against Boros is good. Interested in these 5 cards, although the Flame can be kind of slow on the draw. I think I want to cut a Counterspell, then find a playset of a different card to cut. I think the Thrashers are good. There's 1/4 body. No, I can't cut the iterations. It's crazy. Maybe we can cut the Opal, Attune, 1 Amulet, 1 DRC, maybe 1 Tamiyo. Kind of bad to draw multiples, but I guess boarding into Flames, I don't think I want to do that. Trim 2 Iteration. Sorcery Seed seems bad on draw. I think Iteration is just really good against Boros in general. We definitely can like get run over on the draw. You're not wrong, but also it's like we curve out at 2. It's kind of tough. If we're bringing in Pyre and Flare, do we need that many 1-spot removals? I think so. Like do you want to cut Unholy Heat and Galvanic Discharge against Boros? Seems crazy, right? Like it's the Ragavan, Ocelot Pride, Guide deck. But I mean, I think it's kind of a good sign that we don't really have too many weak cards in the matchup. They're also on a mold of 5 here. Hope not to see a monkey. Oh, I don't care about that. I actually do care about that. Never mind. It's going to make my Steel Cutters a lot worse. Sad they didn't run into my snare here either. Definitely interested in keeping Tamiyo when I can only cast 1 non-creature spell a turn. Party time. Hopefully don't get dismembered again. That was the best Party Thrasher gameplay I've ever seen. Well, I feel like we've definitely had better Party Thrasher gameplay. Although it's definitely been a while. It feels like a pretty normal game to me. Hopefully no Blood Moon. Okay, just a March. That's fine. I guess we'll fire off an Iteration. I'm gonna play around Blood Moon, I think. I think there's not much reason to just lose to a Moon. Two cards in their hand. Flage is a pretty good one to have. Obviously the Steel Cutter, not great. Might have just been better to have the land. Alright, so that was their last card. If they draw a fetch, they can escape the Flage, which is not ideal. Hopefully that's not what they draw this turn. Seems like it wasn't, thankfully. Gotta snare this, even though it lets them escape the Flage next turn. A good time to draw a counterspell for sure. Well, it certainly is very tempting to run out the Party Thrasher. Holding up counterspell is definitely the better avenue. I'll exile the Steel Cutter. Could have shocked the Haste Tamiyo. Didn't seem correct, did it? And then not hold up the snare. Although I guess like protecting this from the Flage was good. Gonna hold up the flame by getting the Bauble out of hand here. Goblin Bombardment on top. Try casting that and another non-creature spell next turn. Alright. Crushing Boros is definitely a good place to start, although definitely felt their mold to 5 that game. Well, this hand has no lands, so probably not going to keep. This hand has lands, and I think we should probably keep it. Last seen on like the Mardu Ketchamos deck, so I think I would still put back the Unholy Heat. This iteration's so good against the Ketchamos decks. Tamiyo's not bad, but I think we're graveyarding it mostly for Delirium here. It's also kind of a nightmare if we drew another one here. Okay, they're still playing that Mardu deck, it seems. They graveyard a Witch Enchanter as the thunder booms in the background. Good Cori and Hammer. I think Bengu like trophied a Hammer League with Cori-Steel Cutter. You definitely could play them together. Thoughts on something like Cori-Steel Cutter, Party Thrasher, Pianolar. Okay, you had me until Console of Revival. That does sound like it could be a good show. I like that Pia is really good with Mox Opal and Amber and like the rest of the show. What is this card? Council of Revival. Oh, that's just the end of Pia's name. Okay, so they Solitude my Eagles. Nice 2 for 1. And then they pass the turn. It's a little awkward to iteration here, but I want Delirium online. Like they're gonna Felia, and I need to hold up removal for Felia. I guess that counts. So sad Layla can't find a home with all these exile effects in the format. Oh, I gotta keep the Steel Cutter. Not quite brave enough to just exile the discharge like that. Yeah, Layla sucks, but I guess that's just the end of the thought. I just don't feel like you should probably spend much time thinking about that card. This person plays like Ashok's main deck in their Mardu Catcher. It's undoubtedly based. Solitude, Emperor, Felia, Witch Enchanter. They choose the Solitude. They play an Elegant Parlor tapped. Swamp in the Yard. Right now there are 2 cards in exile as far as Ketchamos is concerned. Okay, so we can keep that counterspell if we want, and we can surveil it away if we don't think it's going to be very helpful. Help my posture a little bit. I've been hunched over, ripping up carpet and cleaning the floor in the stream room. My posture is really suffering. I don't know if I'm gonna try to install the floor myself. I got it all cleaned up and ready to go yesterday. I'm a little bit worried I'm gonna fuck it up, but I probably will have to wait till next week. Doing a renovation, yeah. We painted. I'm switching the stream room upstairs to what was our guest room. Partially because that room is a lot cooler in the summer. Like my stream room, it would get so hot. And so I've painted the room. It's kind of hard to say no to a DRC here. I've painted that room. Esther did a little bit, and then I ripped up the carpets, took out the tack strips. Cleaned everything up, and I bought the floors and the new wood floor, but actually installing it I'm a little nervous about. Kind of interesting to run into this Mardu list twice in one day here. Orb is a lot worse against the Mardu version. The first copy is probably still good, though. Don't know if I want any consigns or not. I think I'm just going to cut the channelers against the Relic deck. Although I guess they may not be playing Relics if they're on Phoenix. It's probably okay, though. Let's try this plan. Why does Esper Sentinel see so little modern play? Well, the biggest reason is that Hammer was big on the decline. I do think that we had some Mox Opal Sentinel decks that were fine. It's probably underplayed. Unless it's circular room, the wood flooring isn't so bad. Okay, cool. I'm just a little nervous about it, but I really want to do it. Like me and Esther, we did this room, and you can't there's plants over here. You can't see all of them that are really nice, and like part of being in this room is so nice because we renovated it and did it nice, and so I think it'll feel better if I do it myself. And then I also eventually we want to put wood floors in Esther's office too. So if I learn to do it now, it'll be easier than to. Yeah, there are a lot of lava darts right now. That is true. Although Sentinel's not that bad against dart. Like Sentinel is still good against prowess, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm excited for the room too. I would ideally get it done this weekend, but I'm leaving tomorrow for Connecticut to go to a wedding. And it's kind of hard to work on the floor in Connecticut. Would Cori be good in red-white Collector's Cage? We've talked a little bit about it. You're not really very good at triggering prowess in that deck, but you are really good at making tokens, which is kind of weird. I should take pictures of the progress, but I've already taken no pictures after painting and ripping up the carpet and cleaning everything. No, I'm still streaming tomorrow. But leaving tomorrow night. Yeah, I guess I could practice on some floors in Connecticut. Made the Doomwake video with my Asthma Persist deck. Came in 22nd challenge. Cool. Yeah, I wasn't sure if the Asthma Persist build was better than the Goryo's build. Anybody got any decks? Proponent said that they are going to be right back. Yeah, I'm going to do a challenge tomorrow. I think I'm going to play the Dice Factory Ugin deck. Because I think that's the best Ugin deck. People seem to be kind of giving up on Ugin. And I kind of think it's important to show people that there are a lot of other ways to build the Ugin decks that are not just the normal Eldrazi variant. I think Tamiyo's been Rag. I had played Rag in this deck. It's still really good. Well, we had Ragavan in this deck on Friday. Oh, this hand's nice. Ugin is mid TBH. Did you see it in the Dice Factory deck yesterday? It's really good in the Dice Factory deck. Pretty similar to some of our earlier drafts. I feel like we played a build almost exactly like this. For me, after playing the Ascendancy version just feels so much better. You have such a cohesive plan. You have such a game-ending combo. You have so much card draw and burn. I don't know. I like that version. I think I'm still a hater of Thopter Sword too. Like I hate that you can have Thopter Sword and or you can have Thopter and Sword and you're still just very behind because you don't also have Urza in play. Did you ever experiment with Unstable Amulet in the Dice Factory shell? I mean, there are basically no energy enablers in colorless, so I don't know how that would what that would look like. So you should take apart your Narset deck. The Jeskai Narset, the Jeskai Ascendancy Narset deck. I really believe in that deck. I think it's quite good. I'm gonna leave this back for Felia. Any Mardu Kalia scheduled near future? Oh right, this. I mean, I guess they can't flicker something, but not the best against attacking Felia. Yeah, as far as any Mardu Kali in the near future, I don't plan streams more than one day ahead. Tomorrow I'm going to play the Ugin Dice Factory deck, and then we'll have another thing going on between rounds. Might play some Cube in between rounds, but we'll have a different modern deck in the league. Okay, Solar Transformer, that is one. So maybe I leave both of these back now. Obviously getting in damage is nice. I think stopping them from flickering something is also really nice, and maybe making their attacks no good is nice too. I also don't know what these are doing in here. I guess they were playing Solitude in their version, probably. And Phoenix. They get a Godless Shrine. New here, are there videos or do you stream when you're putting your deck together? Sometimes we build a deck on stream. Like, we actually finished this one on stream today. For the most part, the deck building is done off stream, so I think it's a lot more interesting. It also just, like, it's just hours of me, you know, eating nachos and listening to YouTube videos while it just takes so long to put stuff together. It's not. I think it's a little less interesting. So yeah, not usually. Okay, so they get rid of a token. They attack, get rid of a token. I mainly like it with Mystic Forge because it pings and clears lands off the top two. I mean, it does sound really cool. It does sound really cool. Yeah, I'm on maintenance for 3.5 more weeks, 3 more weeks. I guess probably closer to. I probably want to do 6 weeks total. I'm a little unsure before I get back into a full bulk. All right, which of these do I want to keep? Probably a Tamiyo. Now we can attack. Not hitting a land isn't ideal, of course. How the counterspells work in this deck? I think they're pretty mandatory. Like, if you do not play counterspell in this deck, you are better off playing prowess. Let me just be pretty blunt saying that. Like, this deck is not fast enough to justify a counterspell-less deck. We need to play the interaction, but because we can dig for counterspell pretty well and interact with big mana and combo decks with it, it allows us to play this more card draw focused version. Cross with the 16, thank you, welcome back. But draw a land, I might just go like Thrasher and Torpor Orb. Is Murktide dead? Dimir Murktide is alive. This deck, I would say, is pretty, you know, is effectively Izzet Murktide. It's just a 2025 build, kind of. And cross with the 16 and lens with the 2. Would you have recommended the Bant Control with the new regrowth? The Bant Reclamation. I think that build's good if you're not expecting a lot of prowess specifically. And I don't know if you can really expect not a lot of prowess for whatever that's worth at the moment. You might want to play some Wrath Disguise in 75. It's a bit awkward with the Scepter package. Last weekend there were 5-0s and top 32s with 5 different Murktide color combos. That's interesting. So like Izzet, Dimir, Grixis, 2 more color combos? Sultai. I guess a Jeskai probably. That's fun. Alright, so they decided to not make any blocks here. I guess we could lose to a Emperor of Bones, actually. On the Eagles. They have a Prismatic Ending on top. Oh, they flash in Solitude. Pitching a Catchermose. And they're drawing Prismatic Ending. This is not quite lethal. So they need the one mystery card needs to be Emperor of Bones. Bowmaster doesn't do it because of the Torpor Orb. Oh, it does because they have Prismatic Ending too. Is there any way the Scepter is just good even without the chance? I mean, the chants are a really big part of it. Like Chant just sees play in control decks even without Scepter too. Chant is just pretty good. And like the Scepters were really good too without the chance, which was exciting. Just Solitude? It's such a losing attack. Well, I guess they're gonna pending the Steel Cutter. We just chanted in response to Lotus Fields. Yeah, I don't think we played against Titan, but it is pretty good. I'm thinking black removal would make the prowess energy matchup better. I guess I would agree it would make it better. All right, so I guess we just go tune the narrative, Galvanic Discharge, hold up Counterspell, and win the game. In your Absent Flicker list, you think Rumble Unearth would be a good budget replacement for the Overlords? So I'll say as far as the Absent Flicker list goes, I feel pretty confidently that build is not as good as the Birthing Ritual build. I'm a big believer in the Birthing Ritual build. We had a good showing with it in the challenge on Friday. It also just felt great, and I would really recommend that version. I do think Rumble plus Overlords would be fine. Or Rumble plus Unearth would be fine over the Overlords. How do I feel about the 1 Opal? I'm just kind of trying it out, but in theory it seems fine. Like we have Tamiyo, 4 Bauble, 4 Steel Cutter, 4 Amulet. I think that just is enough for the first Opal. I'm gonna keep this. I'm just gonna put back the Bauble. To some extent, it's a little bit of a headache to keep the Bauble because we kind of want to play it and fetch and surveil or hold it for a Steel Cutter, but I think it's just kind of nicer to hold up tunes less discharge. Maybe the 2 needs to power up the discharge. And then play the Thrasher next turn. Definitely want to get an island since these decks have been main decking Blood Moons sometimes. Again, we did beat Boros in round 1. Our Party Thrasher also got dismembered. Don't care so much about it getting Static Prison. Like turn 2 Static Prison with a dead Guide of Souls is not that scary. Happy to draw Steel Cutter. A little less happy to brick on a land. So the Graveyard Flooded Strand. Their top card is a basic mountain. They tick down to 2 or 1 energy rather. They play a Flooded Strand. They Entomb a Flage. We draw a card. So now we have enough energy, so a Galvanic Discharge could kill a Flage. It's also nice that I guess they could Arena of Glory Flage, but they would have to sack the Static Prison to do so. So no energy in their pool. If they escape Flage, we get Party Thrasher back, and we can just go Tamiyo Discharge. New to Modern, is Damping Sphere a good card versus Prowess? I don't think it is. It could, like, in theory, it could be, but I don't know, like, what deck you're playing that is, like, so I only play one spell a turn, and that spell is going to be really good against Prowess, and I also want to play Damping Sphere. But it can be good against them. But typically, it's like the decks that have Damping Sphere on the board also want to be double spelling, and I definitely had Damping Sphere boarded in against me as Prowess, and I haven't really cared about it. So we get our Thrasher back unless they have a Galvanic Discharge. For Brute Scale, it could be okay, but I just have a hard time. What's up?
Lighting's pretty good when it's
when
out.
it's thundering and lightning outside, the lighting's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, let's lead on. I guess we'll go Channeler Iteration. Make a token. I think I've got to keep that on top, despite me maybe not having the land for it. Nice. So again, I'm not going to fire off the discharge too aggressively here, but holding it up for an Ajani feels really nice. Although I guess, yeah, we could just kill the Ajani itself. What's my take on the best position graveyard deck? Well, we just played Hollow One. It felt really good. The Winter Night Story seems like a good upgrade to the archetype. Not playing a basic mountain. Just gonna sack the clue. Let's discard the amulet here. Got plenty of cards coming. Flip the Unholy Heat. So I'll go Channeler. Cast the Heat by tapping the Channeler. Trigger the Steel Cutter. Although I guess I maybe have stacked my triggers wrong, so that I should have let the Prowess resolve first. Why not attack with the Monk into their first drags? Did I not attack with the Monk last turn? Don't think it's going to end up mattering. Well, it's a little early. It's a little early to say this matchup is good, but this is our second time playing against it, and we've stomped them in all 3 games so far. We could easily lose this match, though. Just an observation. I think I'm going to cut the DRCs again, try this sideboard plan. It's so weird that I'm like, I don't have enough 1-drops, but I still have 15. We'll draw a land. We don't have that many lands, though. Or the draw, we have a Bauble. I think it's okay. Spike went from telling me Flame isn't good last week to sideboarding it. I almost didn't want to, but it's like... I just think that I want to be testing Party Thrasher bad enough, and like if I'm playing Tamiyo and Thrasher, I probably want some Flames in the 75. But I don't think Flame is like such a good card. I'm not main decking it. I'm not building my deck around it right now. Maybe it's okay. 2 Prides. Land. Easy. So I have a 1/4, but they do sure have Galvanic Discharges in their deck. Let's see how confidently they attack or don't attack. Okay, well now I'm blocking. Nice. Alright, let's discard second party boy. Take a Delta. Just play Tamiyo, hold up Counterspell here. 2 cards in their hand. Doesn't feel great to have to counter the first half of Flage. We definitely have to because of the life gain. It also kills my Thrasher. They have 1 card left. Nice, no attacks. I think I discard a Steel Cutter. It's not clear that that's correct. Okay, so let's take the Amulet. And then we go play Steel Cutter, cast Amulet like this. I think like this. That's a good one to see. That's a bad one to see. Fuck. I think I'm just dead. So they deal 1 damage, then they sack the cat. They flip the Ajani. We're playing Counterspell or Cori deck. Didn't expect that. If you're not playing Prowess, you must play Counterspell. It's also you can make tokens on your opponent's turn. Yeah, we're just so cooked here. Like this deck does not exist without Counterspells. You would just play Prowess if you're playing a non-Counterspell Steel Cutter deck. All right, let's go to game 3. I'm here for a core deck, not criticizing anything yet. That's okay. I'm just saying we've had this comment a lot, and I'm telling you you must play Counterspell. Feeling good. Like Boros in theory is the scary matchup. We crushed it our first time around. That game felt pretty good until their last 2 cards were Johnny and Static Prison. They also bowled a 5 here. Want to keep a Tamiyo? You think? Yeah, I want to keep a Tamiyo. All right, second time this league we've played against Boros, and they've mulled to 5 and led on Deafening Silence. We beat them last time. We'll see if we beat them again. First time drawing the Mox Opal. My mind was visualizing Mana Tithe. Surely this is, yeah. Like, surely they don't actually have the Mana Tithe. So they have 2 cards in their hand. Our hand's full of gasoline. Don't really want the Steel Cutter in the face of the Deafening Silence. At least not right now. Okay, not going to kill that right now. Gonna surveil. We have a couple Pyroclasms we could draw into. Okay, we found the Pyroclasm, but we can't cast it right now because of the Deafening Silence. Let's go to Snapcaster maybe. Main phase Surveil, so probably no Flage in their hand, which is good news. That's, of course, the hardest card to beat. Okay, Mox Opal has now gotten rid of a Static Prison. Party time. So they have one card in their hand? 2 energy. I don't know. Do whatever you want here. No, don't do that though. Okay, so Spyro discarding Wear Tear. 2 new cards in their hand. Not playing a land. I'm just gonna get a land instead of the Bauble. Maybe that's a little bit greedy. 3 cards in their hand. They give me back my Mox. They attack with this, they drew a Flage. This block is kind of bad against double Galvanic Discharge. They did draw the Flage. We have answers for it. It'd be really nice to find a Counterspell. Although if we Thresh into Counterspell, it's not so good. Oh, great. Should I? I don't think I should Convoke this out. I will attack for 1. So if they escape Flage, I probably just discharge it instead of countering it this time around. Although, I'm going to counter that. Johnny's pretty good. This is what I'm looking for with all this energy. It's pretty nice. There's a Steel Cutter, which again is pretty bad against the Deafening Silence, but if we draw another creature, it'll be good. It also turns on my Mox Opal on turn 8. I'll block if they attack with the cat. So I'm down to 9. They have 1 card in their hand. They have a Flage in the graveyard. They have another Ajani. That'd be the worst possible for us. Alright, that's a good draw because it lets me get my token. They have no cards in their hand. Another Amulet's not so bad. Now I kind of need to save this discharge for the Flage. Kind of. Could attack. Obviously that makes it's bad against the land being top decked. I kind of need to pressure them though. Oh, yeah, sorry, I should have moved the cutter to Tamiyo. Might end up being big punish, yeah. Alright, so 2 cards and there are 2 energy left. They did draw the land finally. Get really punished for not moving the Steel Cutter over. Gonna be tough to fight through the Flage here. So finding a creature and a removal spell would be pretty ideal. Iteration, which you can't cast. Bauble can't cast, dead. Tough game. Tough game. I think I'm going to go eat some lunch. Might play some more of this Izzet deck tomorrow between rounds of the challenge. Going to try to have something different prepped, though. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Fun stream. Send you guys over to Doom Week.